Hi, you're watching Q&A with CNA, and I'll be your regular host now, Chelsea Shar. Our former director, Kyle Schwartz, has officially entered retirement, so I'm going to be hosting most of these shows that you'll see on the program. And today, I get to start the show with Dr. Colin Christensen. He works at CNA, Childhood and Adolescent Behavioral Health. He wears multiple hats at the agency, and he's here to tell us a little bit about what those hats are and what he does. So welcome to the show, Dr. Christensen.
Thank you so much to be here.
Yes, and for our viewers, can you tell us a little bit about your background? So we'll start with where you went to school, where you grew up, and how you ended up at CNA.
Sure. I was born in Detroit, Michigan, and from there went to the suburbs with my family. My dad was a die maker with Ford. My mom worked as an interpreter at Greenfield Village. For college, I went to Texas Wesleyan in Fort Worth, near Dallas. And for graduate school, went to the University of Akron for my master's, PhD, got my doctorate in counseling psychology. My internship I did in Dallas.
And is Akron how you got to this area, or is that, did you get a job here and then continue education, or how did you end up in Akron area?
Good question. I mistakenly thought University of Akron and Michigan share the same tuition rate. They don't. So for our viewers, they do not, in fact, share the same tuition rate. And then I stayed to finish up my dissertation.
Okay, great.
Yep.
And for our viewers, your specific title includes Doctoral Psychology Internship Training Director and Continuous Quality Improvements Coordinator, or CQI. So let's talk a little bit about what that means and what you do in that role. And could you explain a little bit about the internship program, what recruitment looks like? So
Sure.
Your role and recruitment.
Absolutely. So as the training director, I'm responsible for setting up the training program for the interns. And so I'll coordinate with a number of other professionals at the agency, including Mary Kreitz, Dr. Coleman, Dr. Walker. And we try to set up a good program so that they can learn and then develop into psychologists. In terms of recruitment, it's a really extensive process in that we have applicants come from across the country, occasionally from across the world, and typically we'll get applicants from about 60 places, do Zoom interviews with about 30, and then typically take 4 to 6.
Well, and that sounds like a stressful process for the people interviewing. Obviously, it's really competitive. And for yourselves, having to choose from 60 down to 4 to 6.
It is. It's 3 8-hour days of Zoom interviews the whole day. So yeah, it's a lot.
Wow, that's interesting. And your specific title, we talked about your title, but how many doctoral interns do you get? You said 4 to 6, but what is your role in developing them into being psychologists? So once you have these interns, how do you get them to be ready to be in the field and practice this?
Great question. Typically, the first month in particular, we'll do a lot of training. We're very fortunate to have a really good psychology faculty there, and so we'll train them on how to use our next-gen systems. It's our electronic health records. We'll train them on confidentiality, different interventions. From there, we'll have group supervision, individual supervision. It tends to be very, very structured, which helps them be successful.
Right, awesome. How many we talked about how many. You seem to enjoy your work with the interns a lot. Can you tell us, you have a new group coming in every year and a new group going out, obviously, so you probably form some connections with these students, but also getting new ones. How does that impact your work, and what do you like about that?
What I like a lot is just each year we get really smart people coming in from having a number of different perspectives, and so they'll come in, their dissertations might be on any number of different topics, and so really it's a chance to learn each year. And also people coming from different areas of the country, it helps me appreciate Ohio differently as well.
Yeah, now is there anything in Ohio that you try to get them to see, or they're not from here, so do you have any sort of acclimation process, like here's some places to go, or tourist things to do?
Great question. One of the things we do to really try to welcome them is at the University of Akron, there's the National Museum of Psychology History. And so kind of as
I didn't know that.
Yeah, as kind of a welcome, we take them there, and from there go to my favorite restaurant in the world, Luigi's.
Oh yeah, that's great. That's great. We do have some good food in Akron area. As mentioned earlier, you're the agency's CQI coordinator, so can you explain what you do in that role exactly?
Sure. As CQI coordinator, really I'm responsible for our quality assurance activities, and so I help to review our charts, make sure that our charts are demonstrating medical necessity, and help make sure that we're providing high quality care.
Right, that's important, very important. And how do you use the data that you analyze to benefit the agency? So when you get that data, how does that help Q&A or CNA? I'm sorry.
Sure. So one of the things that we'll look at is one thing might be length of stay. And so we'll look at people who have been receiving services for a couple years at the agency, and then figure out what we're doing and how effective it is. And if there's things that we need to improve, we certainly try to do better in terms of improving on that.
Right. So are these interns working in, like, would people who are clients of CNA see the interns and be working with them?
They would. They do.
Okay.
They do. We're very fortunate. They'll be in the office 3 to 4 days a week, and then they'll also get the opportunity to work in a school 1 day a week.
Okay, so that's kind of where it ties into the schools. Is
Right.
They could be coming to the different schools at least once a week.
Correct.
To do some work, and that's
Yeah,
great.
you're absolutely correct.
So as indicated earlier, you're the Assistant Clients Rights Officer. What specifically do you do in that role? That's different than CQI.
Sure. As client rights advocate, or I apologize, assistant client rights officer, really I'm responsible for helping make sure that our clients' needs are met as well. And so we do our very best to help make sure our clients are happy and satisfied. However, on occasion, our clients might not be fully satisfied, and I'm one of the people that can help address their concerns and help them to be fully satisfied with their services.
So advocating on behalf of the client
Exactly.
as well.
Exactly.
Great, that's important. And is there anything else you'd like to add today to our audience who they might never have known about this role until today? Anything else you'd like to add? Or
what I would say is it's really rewarding. It's nice to be able to wake up, come to a job that I believe in, and have a lot of fun with my coworkers.
Yeah, and you're really investing in multiple ways in the future of psychologists all over the country, and in this area, the clients that are benefiting from those services. So that seems like a very gratifying position. So
it is.
Yeah, thank you for coming today, and thank you for watching. This has been Q&A with CNA with Dr. Christensen.